so today we're going to tie the Dirty Water Nymph. This is a fly that the Australian team brought back from the Czech Republic during the World Fly Fishing Championships. And again, they were faced with high and dirty water, and this fly really turned the trick for them. And again, recently I used it on the Narrowell River with great success when I struck quite dirty water. So it's tied in a jig hook, this fly. This is a size 10 Hanik jig hook, and there's a 3.5mm slotted gold tungsten bead. And of course, gold seems to be the best colour actually of all the beads for dirty water. So for a start, we pinch off a small amount of black marabou. Look, this is not a difficult fly to tie. In fact, it's a good beginner's fly. It's a very easy fly to tie. But good flies don't have to be complicated. In fact, some of the best flies are really quite simple flies. So we tie in the marabou full length of the hook, and then we're going to put in some medium gold wire. And again, we're tying this in the full length of the hook because we want to get a nice straight and even underbody on this fly. You'll notice I'm turning the slot up to the top here on the hook. That way they sit better, and it gives us something to lock our materials down into as well. So the dubbing for this is a Hen's Red Spectra dub. It's a nice red colour, and it also has UV highlights through it as well, which can be quite useful to make your fly stand out. But again, if you're in tannin water, really there's no advantage, because sunlight in tannin water absorbs, or the tannin absorbs all the UV light. So really there's no advantages in tannin water to having UV. There's no disadvantages, of course, either. But certainly if there's not tannin in the water, there is an advantage in having those UV highlights in this body dubbing. And again, just a dead straight, plain body for this one, no tapering, very simple. Then we come back through it in reverse with even wraps of gold wire. That just locks everything in and gives a bit more gold in the body. We'll lock that off. Again, I don't cut my wire, I just sort of wiggle it backwards and forwards and it'll break. So it's the easiest way, and it's nice and simple. Now we can break our tail off. Again, we never really cut marabou, just pinch it off like that. So we've got a nice little tail in there. And then for the final bit, we're going to put in a collar of CDC. Now, as long as it's a dark CDC, it doesn't matter what colour. This is a dark brown, black would be fine. And again, I just push in the stub of that in behind into the slot in the bead. Then we'll catch this, and hopefully I can tie this in without it slipping out, because it has been slipping out a fair bit today. There we go, just lock that in there. Don't worry that it looks scruffy. It is a scruffy looking fly, this one. Tying that in, sweeping it back, and then we can whip finish it in the usual way. Now you see, I actually aren't even bothering cutting off the end of that CDC. There's a little stub on the reverse side, but it's all nice and soft, so it won't affect the action of the fly. In fact, a lot of my jig style nymphs I put CDC into. It sweeps back nicely on the fly and creates, sort of captures some bubbles and gives that sense of life in the fly. So that's the Dirty Water Nymph.
This film is proudly brought to you by The Fly Fisher in Melbourne and theflyfisher.com.au, where you'll find everything to tie the Dirty Water Nymph and a whole lot more.